Conflicts of interest are everywhere and we should be absolutely transparent about them. If your choice is to take money from the pharmaceutical industry, it should be made absolutely crystal clear to your patients and your colleagues that that is the case. I think it's absolutely necessary that health professionals clearly declare where their money is coming from. If it's coming from the pharmaceutical industry, I think that patients have got a right to know about that because it may bias the information that they get from that healthcare professional.
The truth is, our life science sector, industry working with clinicians and academics, that triangle of interaction and collaboration has been absolutely central to the last 70 years of extraordinary progress. So I don't think anybody disputes we need a very strong relationship between clinicians and industry. So it's really important that relationship between industry and the clinical profession is based on trust, mutual respect, transparency of outcomes and inputs. And I think we're seeing in this country incredible progress in the last few years to that end.
The collaboration and partnership between healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, pharmacists and the pharmaceutical industry is absolutely vital and right for patients. Through that partnership, we're able to discover medicines, ensure that the studies we're doing are appropriate and that we allow our medicines to be accessible in the right way to patients. Without that collaboration, we just simply wouldn't be able to manage that. Disclosure is important for patients because it really enables society, people, patients to understand why the pharmaceutical industry need to partner and collaborate with doctors and nurses and pharmacists, that we pay appropriately for those services so that actually medicines can be delivered to patients. By having those relationships transparent, we build our trust between patients, doctors and the very important pharmaceutical industry.
First and foremost, that I think transparency is a good thing, so I've got no issue whatsoever with everything being transparent. I think I'm going to make the point though that it has to be for the right reasons, and I think the transparency has to be enabling, not disabling. I think the most important thing is patients are not lying awake at night concerned about transfer of value and payments their doctors are receiving from industry being disclosed. I think doctors' ability to take part in meetings where they give talks, give their expertise, teach, educate others and learn from others is conducive to patients ultimately receiving the best possible treatment and care in the NHS, and that's the thing that's most important to them.
It's about transparency. It's important that the public understand that funds are being used appropriately. It's important that everyone feels that they've fairly been treated. It's really important to make sure that we see that the flow of money through the system from providers, commissioners, drug companies to doctors is there for a reason and actually has a positive outcome for patients. Where there's been payment to healthcare professionals and disclosure is made, I can't see will make or break the difference to patients. Patients have been, the system's been working like that for many, many years. There's going to be more transparency, but it will prove that these payments are made in good faith. They help education, they help fund research, and actually the outcomes will be absolutely right for patients, but they'll see that they're fairly treated.
If I were a patient, I would be extremely cautious about accepting any clinical advice from someone who took a lot of money from the pharmaceutical industry. I think it would mean a huge amount to patients to understand all the vested interests that result in them taking a pill.
Actually, I have no problem with disclosure, but it's the opportunity to respond to some of the publication that may be made and an understanding of what those numbers mean or what people have been doing to earn whatever they've been paid through these ad boards or through any other contact they have with the industry. I think the disclosure of payments to patients is very valuable in terms of giving them an understanding of the fact there is a relationship between clinicians and the industry.
We wouldn't have the medicines we have, nor the cures for a lot of diseases or the longevity for a lot of people with chronic diseases that we do now if it wasn't for the pharmaceutical industry. If people were more trusting the pharmaceutical industry, then there would be no problem with disclosure. But I also agree that you can't just put how much somebody received, because you've got to say what it is they received it for and what was the benefit.
What it's hopefully telling patients is that we're really proud to work together on these issues to bring them better care and better treatment, but we're doing it in an environment where they themselves can see, I understand how my doctor's involved in this process, and I feel confident that they're still making the decision based around what's best for me, and that's always at the priority for any healthcare professional and for the medicines industry, that what's right for the patient is what's right for the best of us.